All right, everybody. I think we're all live, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Pip install Django. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, let's see. Might as well update pip as we're doing this. So python.m.pip.install.up upgrade pip. Hope everyone is doing well today. There's a lot we got to get done. All right. So I have, now we can look. Oh no. And that's, okay. That's not where I wanted pip to go, and I did not mean to open this. Alright. Well, let's fix it. We might as well get this to be right colors. Built-in custom keys, fonts. Window. Let's see. Settings is not what I want. Config, debug, shell. Well, one, let's just see. Import Django. Alright, it is here. But what is annoying is I have this in the wrong. Let's see who's all. There we go. I need to get, where do I have, what's my path for this? Properties, let's see where this lives. Programs. Let's put this here. Can I move this over? That's the start. User Sam. App data, local, programs, Python 12. There we go. Because I want to confirm that this is in the right spot. I can't remember if it's lib or libs. And I believe it's site packages, Django. There we go. All right. It went where it was supposed to, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to verify it. I feel like there's not a great deal of outside light. How's the light? I feel like I'm a little red. All right, so we're going to go back and forth between actually getting some stuff around. Oh, and there's pip too. And all of this is today? That doesn't make any sense. So I didn't install, there are no outside packages. Oh, I haven't used, never mind. That actually makes perfect sense because I have not utilized this in so long. I do want to see, does this even allow Django? Environments, all, search. No way. It does. Well, there we go. We're gonna put this into Spider as well. Because if we can get it in Spider, we're definitely gonna use it. But we also need to, yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm trying not to drink on camera so I don't gross anybody out. Let's see. All right, it has all of these dependencies, modify. Yep, let's do it. Unlink, link. SQL parse. Interesting. Well, we're just gonna click through it and take care of all of them. As we're going through this, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I was going to bring over, last night I thought I saved and Jinja. We probably haven't even talked about Jinja. It's an assisting, Jinja 2 if I remember. I think it was one of the first YouTube videos that I was watching on how to go about doing all these things, and it was they were building a very, very small little web page, and I think you could go and vote. You could go and vote on things. Don't know why the YouTube the viewer, it's not playing right. I don't know why I care. I guess I just worry that the stream isn't right. All right, this is taking forever. So let's get over to, let's change and get to the right place. This is where I want. So this is, hang on. That's not what I wanted. I wanted here. Bingo. That's where I want. So if you've never seen that before, this is the easiest way to get to the proper, no, not the proper, the path that you want. Is you open up the folder, and it's a shortcut. You open up the folder to the location that you want, and then you literally type CMD command line, and it will open a command line prompt at that exact path. So if we look right here, users, SAM, app data, local programs, Python 3.12. So let's stack this all up so we can just see them all. I think that's in frame. Python 3.12.6, I guess. Version 6 or version 12 iteration 6. I can't. That's some major minor stuff that I haven't dealt with in a while. But whenever you have a file, yeah, dots, you can do underscores. Dots are illegal syntax in command prompts and paths. In paths is what I wanted to say. All right. Got a text for somebody. I will answer them later. Let's see. Oh, is that why this isn't continuing? Was it held up because of that stupid thing? Yeah. All right. So does anybody have any questions of what Django is before we even really get started? This color feels awful today. I don't know why. Hang on a second. Okay. I feel very red. I'm going to look. Because I think this monitor is better. More accurate. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Doesn't look great either. Ba-doom boom. Alright. Is this done? I want to check something. Import. Yep. Holy moly. Well, we got Django. We got Django here too. All right. Now that we have it installed, we gotta go through a bunch of stuff. So when you get into Django, you utilize every aspect from classes to inheritance, dictionaries. It utilizes everything. Path, operating system, OS, path formatting. I believe there's, because I wanted to spend time today on the the APIs. Because if I were to get asked an API question, I don't believe I could answer them. Django projects generally rely on high-level back-end agnostic APIs for each of the steps instead of template systems, low-level APIs. All right. Configure an engine. Yeah, because what I was going to do is I was going to show you everything that I did on, because you can actually go and look. Let me pull it up. Because I made quite a few videos. I was surprised myself of how many videos that I had made for Django. It was, let's see. It's 26 videos that I have, and it's 4.5 years old. Let me see. Analytics. No way. They're actually in. Why can't I get to the library details? That's the only thing I don't like. The functionality for the library is not great. I thought there was a screen where I could just options, get shareable link, added to clipboard. All right, here we are. So thank you everybody for coming to hang out today. There's a link to the playlist for everything Django. I forgot how much I covered. Forgot how much I knew. That's why I was trying to get to the old hard drive. Oh, I made such a mistake last night. because the old hard drive takes forever to load up. I hadn't gone back and forth because I had made this hard drive pretty optimal. Oh, I didn't tell everybody we were here. Nor is that loud. Okay. At everyone, I'm live. Send and send. All right. Oh, and yeah, like I said, dictionaries are heavily used. Class objects are heavily used. Creating your own objects, heavily used. This double bracket, and let's see what they're doing here, because Stooges, this is a reference. Template T, we can come up here. Bingo. So this right here is .0. That's index, so it'd be Larry. And we can see right here. The first stooge on the list is Stooges.0. Stooges index 0, boom, right here. T render, and so on. All right. Never really got to a good explanation of anywhere of why it's double curly brackets, but it just is. All right. And we can, let's play around with this. Actually, we'll stick with our, I haven't even checked if this is square. Is this in a good location? Yeah, actually kind of was. We'll move this over. Actually, we are going to use this. I'd tell you why. That's the only thing I'm not super in love with about Spider is, hang on. Yeah. There we go. Then we have the black background. We can do this on the command prompt. How does that look? All right. So import Django. Dir Django. Oh, yeah, because we got to import implicitly. Now, if you're super new, I want to show you this. Forgot how many packages are in Django. So when you import Django, it imports everything that is not a package. I know that sounds super weird, but since these libraries are so large, it wants you to explicitly import. So let's explicitly import. Let's look at the apps. So we now have to import Django from Django, import apps. Now let's do dir on there we go. And here we are. So now apps is here. So now we do help dir Django.apps. Now let's look at apps.config help Django.apps. And then it's also going to tell you again what packages. So if it's under a package, it's not going to automatically be imported. Does that make sense? Hang on. since we got a small group right here, let me. Hang on. Hang on. This is my jiu-jitsu instructor. Hang on, everybody. He's checking on me. I hadn't been to class in a while. I got banged up. Getting better. Boom. It's already been 14 minutes. Yeah, because we have open mat at 10. That's why he's wanting to do it. All right. Okay. So we got some folks dropping in. Hey, if you can do me a favor, hit the like button. And also drop any questions you have. Oh, let's look at... Come on. Don't remember this doing that. There's got to be a way to get that command line going. Let's look at DB. I want to look at the database. So import from Django, import DB. Help Django.db. And then, okay. All right, so migration, that's a term that you're going to see a lot. So transaction automatically comes in, utils automatically comes in. Migration is just any changes that you're making to the table. And you're going to make them permanent, and you're going to go blah, 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 all these things. Now, let's do... Why is this? Hey, Peaky, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. I know it's later over there. Yeah, I got a late start today. Just was way behind. Wow. I'm pretty good, Peaky. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. I'm just holding down the enter. There we go. Django version, pickle key. Interesting. I was watching Richard Feynman. Oh, what aspect of Richard Feynman? Him post. I guess everything would be post World War II. But is he in a lab? Is he post retirement? What were you watching him? Because I've seen some of his old stuff, where it's like in the 50s and 60s, which is pretty impressive. And then when he's older and he's talking about everything that he went through and how he figured stuff out. But yeah, he was a very interesting man. I would actually argue that he was probably the smartest person at Los Alamos. Just the things that he was able to do and the math that he did and the techniques that he used to break up the math so everybody could do it. I don't know why this is doing this. My YouTube, it's saying that I've only been streaming for 4 minutes. Just some random videos about science, maths, and how to learn things. Yes, okay. I bet we watched the I bet we watched the same ones. Yeah, because I think I can see the video. He goes, I was an average student who worked really hard. Well, I would tend to disagree that he was an average student. But yeah, I taught at Princeton too. A very, very brilliant man. Hey there, what do you think about HTMX and fast HTML for web development? That's actually, don't really have an opinion on either. I need to be looking at HTMX because if I do get on with this other company, they are a startup and they utilize HTMX. So here. And I was looking at that yesterday, HTMX. We were actually going through a lot of it yesterday. So I thought it was very interesting. Very, very powerful, especially what was it that I found extremely interesting was these triggers. That was probably the most interesting thing that I had seen so far, because tracking events, that can become very tricky. I mean, up keys, down keys. I had some experience with Pygame, and you could track everything. You could track key down, you could track key up. Anything that happened with a keyboard was an event. Let's see, what a mouse click, a right mouse click, a left mouse click, any sort of event, a space bar, any sort of input. So have no opinion on it. I think all those technologies are very interesting, especially if it's, what were we learning yesterday? NP. Hang on. Started making some notes. NPM and Yarn. Those those package managers. One thing that I did love that it was HTMX was completely dependency free. And I believe it was HTMX that it could you could update certain elements and not need to update the entire window, which that would be unbelievably powerful and fast, because you wouldn't need to be spending time and client processor to load all of that. It would be a much smaller segment. I think Facebook, if I recall the article that I read, it was Facebook that figured that out first, and it broke up the page back when you were on your desktop. As I remember when they struggled going to mobile. I don't even know if anyone on the call will remember, but Facebook was just on desktop, and they really struggled to get to mobile. And to make things faster, they would load it in, they would literally break up the window and load it in pieces. So load the most important things that people wanted to see, get that loaded fast, and then load up all the other parts and pieces on the side in its own. So small little history. Let's see here. You can do pretty much anything without JavaScript. Well, yes, but JavaScript and HTML, heavy backbones of because I mean, even if you use Django, even when you use Django, because Django's just back end. Django's just back end. You're still gonna have to have HTMLX And then if you want it to look pretty, CSX, yeah. Trailwinds, CSS. I said CSX. I better not. Trailwind. If I want to get interviewed, I better at least speak correctly to the technology. Yeah. Yeah, so what it looks like to me is from just the platform and the stack that this startup is using that I'm trying to get an interview with, because I have a friend of a friend of a friend, and sorry, I've just seen this layout a lot, so I guess this is really busy, and it just shows changes. Okay. How do you learn a new language? By doing projects or reading, learning a document? So I'll answer it like this. So that's a very good question. First, I want to encourage you, because that's one thing that, yeah, I'll just leave it there because that was positive. So that's a very good question. By doing. There's no other way to learn other than by doing, because you can read. I'll give you an example of my history. So I was constantly reading Python stuff. I was reading Python books, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. And even though I was falling prey to, that's what I would do with all of my other books, like my chemistry books in high school, my math books, and I'd be like, all this makes sense, and then I'd turn the page and I'd have a problem that had the same essence, had the same soul of the problem we just looked at, but it was different, but I couldn't solve it. So I say that to say this: I finally got better, and I got stronger, and I became very proficient with Python. Then I got a job, and a data analyst job, and I needed to learn SQL, and I was like, oh boy, okay. So I just started learning SQL, and then started querying tables and being able to do it. Then shortly after that, 6 months after that, I needed to transition again inside the same team and learn Visual Basic, VB.net. And I was like, oh my God. So I had to learn and read and build and change things. So there's no better way than to just do it. All right, I think Peaky had a question. I don't get when people said we're doing front end because you need a real language to do some work logical. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it when people were doing front end because they need real language to make your logic. That's that whole area of that I don't get into. That's somebody making themselves feel better. It's like, I don't like doing that. Well, if they're not doing it, they probably can't do it. Well, I don't like front end. I'm not good at UX. I wouldn't have. I mean, I can do this. I can edit this. I can update this. But I would have never come up with this layout of a nice, pretty picture here, classic utility jacket. Hang on, sorry. The price over here. I like this layout, and here's a different layout, and here's a different one. But I would have never come up with this. Oh, sorry. Thought I saw. So now, if we read and understand what Trailwind CSS is say, hey, we're gonna add in some things, and you're gonna be able to build and make CSS, because CSS makes things pretty. And now what they're doing is they're saying, hey, we can add this and you don't even have to leave your HTML. That's the plus for this. Get started. Let's see. Yeah. This is from the command line. trailone.config.js. Configure your template path. That's pretty clean. This is the terminal. Yep. npm install d trailwind css. npx trailwind initiate. Wow. That's how quickly. Yep. Because I've read, I went back and viewed some of my videos, and this is literally how simple it is to put things into your style. You're adding style to it, and it literally is the path, as you can see, link to. I can't remember. I should. Let's do this. Hyperlink reference, is that it? In HTML. Let's remember. HTML. So front end is just design work, because that makes sense to me, even if you know to code. HTML, CSS, still you're doing just design. Yes, so it's layout, and of course, I mean, you still have functionality, and you still have logic. Because don't get confused, because just like so we'll pause here. We'll talk about that for in a second. You're still gonna have don't think, because when you're clicking buttons, things have to happen. I mean, you need to write. You're gonna write to. I mean, either you're going to transition to a different page, turn on and off stuff. If you filled out a form and you hit submit, you're going to be pulling all of this information and writing it to a table. You're going to be checking for security protocols. You're going to be checking. Hang on a second. I want to make sure I didn't miss something. Whoa. All right. Sorry. So when I was doing the app for the user to build their PowerPoint slides, there was so much logic that went into it, because I had to turn on and off stuff. When you click a button, what is that button doing? Is you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked at everything that happens when you click a button. You're like, I'm just clicking a button. No, you're not. Got you. Maybe then I just start with Python. That's why my mind thinks that real programming is something else. I don't know. See, that statement, I guess I don't get. Real programming. I mean, you're taking a language and you're creating something out of nothing with a different language than you speak. So I don't know what that means. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so the H reference attribute specifies the URL, the link that goes to. Yeah, so all right. Reference bottom page, click go to the bottom page. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Bottom page. That's the only thing I don't like about HTML and JavaScript is, so if you look here, header, you have and body, you have bookends, and I guess in Python you have bookends where you start and stop stuff, but the brackets. It just seems like there's brackets everywhere with JavaScript. So, ow. I banged up finger. Okay. I can't tell if that lighting's alright or really bad. How long have we been on? 42 minutes? Alright. Let's see. I mean, there are no for loops, while loops in HTML. And there are no functions. Coding Mountain. Keep learning and have fun coding. Thank you, coding. I appreciate it. Peaky, I guess the point of all this is just do what interests you, and don't let anybody else affect you, or what's also, don't waste time trying to affect anybody else. So if you want to do something and somebody is doing something else, does that have any impact on you? That's the question. That's the question that I guess it took me a while to understand. And people care what other people are doing, which I don't know why. People care that what other people care about, which I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't know why we actually do. All right, so let's get into, hang on a second. And I guess the more that I look at, so when Django covers everything, and you're going to need to throw it in like a list comprehension with a for loop. Let's see. Yep. I'm trying to find an example. Using requests, because you're going to need paths. Templates. Let's go back to paths. Views. Yeah. See, and here it is right here. No. I'm just saying, because I watched one stream of someone, I'm not taking name, but he said in stream that front-end developers are no coders. So I guess, yeah, so are they making something? So yeah, so just I wouldn't spend any time. So if somebody is speaking down about somebody else, I guess I don't see the need in it, and you're probably not going to learn anything from them if they're trying to tear down other people. So all right, my issue with learning by doc is that you just go to random places because of link, and then I think after an hour that I learned nothing what I intend. How do you overcome this? All right, so That's actually another good question. So, one of the things, so I can speak to this in a variety of ways because I did this very holistically. One, so I just shared with you a question form. Okay. Not sure what that last one was, Peaky. But all right. The one about learning. So I did this a variety of ways. One, I did the puzzles. I did the MIT class very early on. I was trying to solve lessons and homework in a book. The online challenges were not readily available back 8 years ago now. So the next thing I did, the next best thing is I started tutoring and teaching at my kids' schools about 2 years after I learned. So then a year after that, I started my YouTube channel, and then maybe 2 years after that, no, hang on, YouTube channel will be 8 years old. I finished the stock screener 4 years ago. So after then about 4 years, then I built a very complex stock screener that took streaming data and parsed it and did all sorts of things. So the trick, if you look at all right, no worries, Peaky. Just be careful, because negativity is a drug, and you just have to watch out for that. All right, but back to the other question. So if you look at the characteristics of all of those, is each of those learnings, there was a thing that was pushing me. I had to go and volunteer and teach something. So I had an obligation. So you want to find something that will obligate you to continue to learn. If you haven't heard the term, but there's a term called a passion project. Those are typically the easiest way to get you to learn, is like I have to build this. I have to get this out of my head. I need this tool. Like my stock screener. I needed that because I was spending hours and hours and hours and hours wasting my time doing these things. So what I did is I needed that to free up a lot of time. So I had to spend time. I invested my time to save me time later. And a lot of people don't understand that. But an investment in time in something that will help us later, that's the difference between really highly effective and successful people, is understanding and respecting their time. That's a side note. But if you look at all of those, the YouTube channel, I made it a responsibility that I was responsible to it. Tutoring at my kids' schools, I was responsible to that. This passion project of mine that I built, I was responsible to that. So you have to have something that is bigger than yourself, because I spent a lot of time analyzing how my parents were successful, because there's a lot of people who have businesses that are not successful. My parents are very successful, and they went to go and work for the company they own the company, but they worked for the company. So if you think about it, you take yourself out of the equation and you work every day and you go and show up. So what I did is I created the YouTube channel and I made a video. I made a commitment that I needed to make a video every day for a year. 365 videos. You will learn a lot if you do something like that. You will learn an absurd amount. And you don't know what you'll learn, but you'll become so... I was like, hey, I got to go make a video. Because it was just a part of everything. I didn't know how to turn it off. It just became rote behavior. It's like, oh, I have to go work on my script today. I have to go work on... Hang on, is this... Hang on. Sorry, it finally responded. That seems cheesy. There we go. I love that dude. All right. 365 is not a joke at all. And I guess now you have crossed the 1,000 mark. Oh, videos wise? Oh, peaky. I think Friday's video was 1,146 videos. Yep. 1,146. That's a whole lot of videos. Same thing with these live streams since August. I would argue that probably these live streams have... Well, here, let's do some quick math. I think my average video is probably, let's say, 3 minutes. So 3 minutes times 1146 divided by 60. It's 57 hours. So August, let's see how many live streams I've done. I'm live now. That's 50. That's another 50. Oh, man. August 10th. Let's say that's 20. So 120 times... Let's say I've averaged, because I bet my live streams have already surpassed my videos of lengthwise. Now, not views, nowhere near views. I have a few videos. Let me see. I have. Let me pull this out over here. I have 1, 2, 3 videos that have over 20,000 views each. My random seed method video is my most popular. Here, I'll show you. But all right, 120. Let's say I've averaged an hour and a half. So 57 hours, and I've already streamed for 180. Wow, that's a lot. I had a feeling it was a lot, but I didn't put pen to paper. All right, let's kind of look behind the curtain a little bit. All right. So that video is coming up on, what is that, 7 years old? I made that shortly after. It was episode 154. So here they are. All the same year. Look at that. All the same year. Ooh, I'm about to hit that, and this is only 4.5 years old. Well, 4.25. All right, but made that in 18, 18, and 18. How to upgrade pip. How to do a join method with the OS module. That's crazy. Never thought about looking at that. That's kind of a good question, Peaky. All right, thank you. Okay, so those were all very good questions this morning. What else? All right. So this is old formatting. Wow. Okay. So if you haven't, let's kind of go over what this will do right here. So current time. So this is a complete blend of 18. Yeah, 18 was pretty good. All right. Here's an HTML tag. So you can handle. So that's literally how you would write language English, the body. So here's old Python right here, where this is a placeholder and it's a string, and then you call it here later, now, which is you're referencing this right here. And then as this goes through like this, there's all sorts of old style. Yeah, it'd be the equivalent of, let's see if this can still support it. Now, let's just say had to date a bunch of stuff the other day, and I was really worried I was not going to write 25 and I was going to have to scribble it out. It was a bunch of forms for that part-time job. All right, so text equals, let's see, date, let's see if this even still works. That's not what I wanted. I haven't used this in so long. I just pressed Control Enter like I was in dbeaver. Yeah, okay. I have not used this format, and I couldn't tell you how long. Just did Control Enter again. All right. So this is an old style string formatting. If you've never seen this, so it's like, now the only problem is you have to do this in order. So if you had multiple, you'd have to have this go through. But it's like, hey, I'm going to be putting in a string. Here's the variable I want, and go reference this later. All right. Okay. How's that color? It looks very, very pink. Feel very pink right now. All right. Let me do that. Okay, let's get back to some Django stuff. You have headers. You have H1, H2. Let's see. I think it goes all the way from H1 to HTML headers, header tag. Is there no HTML? Markup language, header. I don't like that. Header tags. Hang on, I need to look at something. That's funny. Sorry, thought I had a message on LinkedIn. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, you use that in C language. Oh, headers? You use headers in C? How many different headers are in HTML? There's 6. Interesting. HTML defines 6 levels of headings. Heading. Wait a minute. That feels like that's a note card. HTML headings 6. Most important, subheading, 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 the least important heading, also known as the smallest heading. The main heading, HTML1. So I guess I was looking for font sizes, because I think also the HTML no, the placeholders. Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry, Peaky. I was bouncing all over the place. And I think there's a slight delay with chat. I found that out. I was in somebody's live stream that I had met just to give support. And I saw how long it took for it to display and also them to type and the response come through. So they typed, moments go by, reply pops up. All right, I think we had somebody join. Awesome. Oh, we had quite a few leave. quite a few leave the Discord the other day, but that's all right. We're here to be helpful. If it wasn't helpful, then it's absolutely fine for them to. Is there no HTML? I need to look at something. I want to find HTML documentation. HTML documentation. Documentation. Is this the documentation? This does not feel like official HTML documentation, but let's look. Hypertext markup language. I don't know, that kind of feels that way. Other technology besides HTML are generally used to describe web page's appearance, perception, CSS, and functionality, behavior, JavaScript. All right, because also the technology, was it Alpine JavaScript. That's the technology that they're using. So this is the other one. It's extremely light. That was it. Had 15 attributes, 6 priorities, and 2 methods. Data and store. So clicking the button, store.notification, .notify, blank, 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 notify, button, toggle, drop down. I hope you find Alpine to be a breath of fresh air, silence among noise. That's kind of cool. That's a good. There's documents. Building a counter. Okay. Declaring a date. You're declaring data. Listen for events. Count. React. Reacting to changes. Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that. Listen for click out. What? Listen for click outside. Alright, building search input. Now you can build more complex component and introduce handful of other directives and patterns. Insert the following code into the body. Interesting. Oh, that's nice. Multi-line formatting. Computed properties using getters. Just 2 methods for real. I guess. Let's see. Start here. That goes to the top. Upgrade, build a counter. Probably we could learn more about what the actual methods are. So let's come down. Magic methods. If we saw, we store. So there's 2 blind data globals. There's data, store, and bind. Handles asynchronous. That's important because you don't want to be dependent on other actions. So if you get hung up on something slow, everything else is computing, acting, loading, and when that gets done, then everything finishes, but they all finish at the same time. Asynchronous is a very powerful topic. It's pretty good. We messed around with it a little bit, and it's, yeah. Recap. You've made it this far. You've been exposed to the following. Yeah, okay. Recap. Squarespace. Create a website that turns. Interesting. They advertise Squarespace on here. All right, what would be... Whoa. Okay. Did anybody hear audio on that? Because I don't need to get dinged for copyright. Anybody hear anything? That was a little bit faster than I thought. Components. Why do they have that fade out? Essentials. Interesting. That was start here. Okay. Now I see how they have it. State. Let's look at these. Where'd we go? Where are we in here? Data? You didn't hear it? Okay. Because I think when I clicked installation, it takes me to their... Okay, it felt like some YouTube. So as long as it's not on YouTube and it played, then we're good. Because all YouTube does is counted against. No, that is YouTube. But it's loaded. Okay, but it's loaded inside. It's a YouTube loaded into a window. It's a pretty good website. All right. All right. Okay, we've been on for about an hour and 12 minutes. I need to pull stuff from the other hard drive because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So I need to go do that. And there's no way to keep the stream going. It's not like switching screens. So I'm going to need to end for today and literally pull stuff off the old hard drive and we'll go from there. I don't think. Yeah, I need to go do that. And I need to figure out the lighting on this too, because with the lighting like this, I feel very red. Feel very red. All right. Thanks for coming and popping in today, everyone. Hang on a second. I want to be data scientist, but it's easy to be data analyst for starting point. What do you think of this approach? How we approach? Yeah, I mean, you need to get your foot in the door as a data analyst somewhere and hang out with the data scientists and see what they spend their time on. But yeah, data analyst is a great place to start because then you also learn parts of the business because the business leaders come to you with questions and things that they need help with. And I highly recommend the data analyst role first because it gets you in the room of business leaders. And it's like being an assistant to them and you're just hearing what they're thinking, the direction the business is going. I think it does. I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of exposure that they have, and they're underutilizing the data analyst role to just become wiser and more knowledgeable of what's going on in the business, and they think it's something other than it is. You're a guide to assist business leaders in answering questions, but that gets you inside the room. I mean, you're literally a fly on the wall, and just take advantage of it. And then the data scientist, you may find out that you don't even want to end up being a data scientist, but just start with the data analyst and just see where it goes. I think that's a great question. But yeah, if you're interested in anything like that, if you like solving problems, go and start working on the sequel challenges on any of the challenge websites, and you'll be intrigued of how much you know and how much you've learned and things like that. But all right, let's wrap up for the day, and I will see everyone tomorrow. All right, bye everybody. Thanks.